Freeze! One more clap. New wave, please. Get it, baby. Get that new wave. Real loud clap. All y'all freeze. One more clap. One more clap. Bust y'all, please. Real big clap. Everybody freeze. One more clap. New wave, please. Get it, baby. Get that new wave.
ACT, you see this?
If it ain't official DanaJay, Prima Donna News, I don't even want to see it.
Though we don't know what tomorrow will bring us, let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Although we don't know what tomorrow will bring us, let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Dear world, I'm writing this letter in an attempt to make things just a little better. This is about living through life's stormy weather, because the truth is that we're not gonna live forever, and that's my point. Well, let me start with my boy that's doing 15 in a joint. Man, he could hoop, but he loved the street life. Couldn't win pro, instead he chose the street life. He turned rapper and wrote about the street life, but still could not make it out the street life. And one day he bought a Glock. Wait, now page number 2 will take you to another block. A man and his wife can't get along, all they do is fight. Both too stubborn to apologize, and sometimes it gets so bad they hope each other die. And one day she couldn't take it no more, so she decided to run out of the door. She jumped in the car and swerved off in a rage, and baby I'm sorry was all over his face. Oh, we don't know what tomorrow will bring us, let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Now that my homie done bought himself a gun, he stuck up some liquor stores, now he's on the run. Do anything to avoid the police, now he's strung out on drugs and life is getting deep. To anyone, he would do anything, give him the chance and he'd steal anything. Next thing he did really screwed up his life, but first let's go back to the husband and wife. Now he's on the phone with his pastor, and she's on the phone with her mother. He tells his pastor, the woman is driving me crazy. Then swore up and down, she's not the same lady. She says, Mama, the man has been treating me so bad ever since we found out that I couldn't have babies. Then Mama says to her, girl, hold on. Pastor says to him, be strong. Oh, we don't know what tomorrow will bring, so let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Oh, we don't know what tomorrow will bring. Let's live today. Saying just in case. Now there's a warrant out for my boy's arrest, cause he done went and stabbed someone in the chest. Man, them drugs just got him breaking all of the rules now. His face is posted up and all over the news now. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, the husband and wife are starting to break down. She says to Mama, maybe I ought to call him. And Mama said, now that's the spirit. He says to Pastor, maybe I should call and say I love her. He say, I'm sure she loves to hear it. Then she gets a call on the other line. It's the doctor saying your test results came back fine. Congrats, girl, you're pregnant. Then she cries, finally a miracle sent from heaven. Now meanwhile, the other side of town, all hell done broke loose and it's going down. Cops chasing Reginald all over town. He's running every red light and driving real wild. Now meanwhile, and this ain't fiction, here is where I need y'all to pay close attention. She's so happy, she calls her husband up. He says, I'm sorry, baby, just as soon as he picks up. She says, I'm sorry too, and I got good news for you. Steve, I'm pregnant and on my way home to you. He jumps for joy, scream hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. While Reginald is still chased by police. She takes the highway, it'll get her there much faster. Reginald on the skyway, chase lasting forever. With the helicopters right over his head, with the searchlights on him. Oh man, now he starts panicking. Rachel's driving, so excited she's not realizing that just a block away, a man is on the run while the husband's at home praying for a son. And the policeman is screaming for the call. Rachel calls her husband and says, I'm getting close. He says, honey, I'm fixing up something special in the kitchen. And at the same time, Reginald makes a stupid decision. He turns down a one-way street. Then Rachel notices this car coming and yells out, out of control, a senseless mission. Next thing you know, a head-on collision. No, we don't know what tomorrow will bring us. Let's live today. I'm saying just in case.
I know that there's more. More for you, more for us.
Children, rain all night long. Didn't it all, didn't it all? Oh, my Lord, didn't it rain? Didn't it rain, children? Rain all night long. Didn't it all? Didn't it all? Oh, my Lord, didn't it rain?
You can't run from it. You can't deny it. You can't pass it off. It's your call. God knew what he was doing. He knew who he was calling, and he expertly and intricately detailed every aspect of your life, your being, your persona, your psyche, your physicality, everything about you, from the texture of your hair to the color of your eyes to the way that you laugh to the fingerprint on your thumb. Everything is connected to your calling. And until you walk into the fullness of the thing that you were created for, you will find yourself frustrated. You're called.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Whatever you want, whoa, whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Oh, whatever you need, then nothing I won't do. Oh, whatever you want, oh, my heart belongs to you. Oh, I say whatever you need. Whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Whatever you need, there's nothing I won't do. Whatever you want, heart belongs to you. I say whatever you need.
What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Real quick, y'all know I ain't gonna be long today. Well, I'm gonna try not to, because my Buffalo's playing in 15 minutes. Oh my God. Oh man, I gotta squeeze this in, but I probably be here like 30 minutes to an hour. Shout out to everybody that's here. Let's get through the formalities real quick. If you want to donate to the channels and you on YouTube and Rumble, there's a bag on Rumble with a $sign in it. There's a box on YouTube with a box in it with a $sign in. I'm sorry. Both of them on Rumble is the Rumble bag. On YouTube is a super chat. Y'all can donate anything. Nothing's too big, nothing too small. Whatever you choose to donate, Dana J appreciate it all. On top of that, if you want to just, throw a little something like, Dana, I want you to have some lunch or something on me, you go ahead and hit the Cash App, $ official Dana J on Cash App. Also, going across the top and the bottom, and you will see my Venmo. If you want to do Venmo, if you don't have Cash App, you want to do Venmo, that's for Dana J Spices. So you can Venmo me at Dana J Spices, DANAJAY Spices. I got a PayPal, not at all. I got a Zelle. Do all that. Also, follow me on X, better known as Twitter, under Dana J the Brand. Also on Patreon, www.patreon.com/officialdanaJ. Official Dana J Live is the all-in-one media solution. If I'm not giving it to you, it can't be right. Because if I'm not there, then nobody's there. With that being said, we're going to break down some lies that the Democratic Party did. And they rolled them out heavy. So, I'm going to say this. I understand people want to hear about R. Kelly, but there's no movement in the R. Kelly cases right now. Bo Brinley is AOL, and R. Kelly's so-called friends that I told y'all wasn't his friends also disappeared on him, except for about 4. And none of them are the money man. So understand, everybody ran off on him. And as painful as it might be to say this, they knew what they was doing, and they made sure that Robert cannot come back from this. If Bo Brinley don't answer in 5 days, it's a wrap for R. Kelly. Sad. But like I say, seemed like nobody cares. Everybody that was there to help that man, the so-called Chicago crew, wanted to run everybody off. They even tried to pay me to Dana, just don't say nothing. Nah, you can't pay me for that. I'm not that type of friend. I'm not that type of backstabber. I don't backstab anybody. I'm loyal. I don't care who you are. If I ever called you friend and we on good terms, and no matter if we have a disagreement or not, if you get in trouble, I'm there. And I'll fight the world for you, just like I do my other friends. Whether you political, whether you behind the scenes, whether you in the pulpit, whether you on a musician board. If we friends, I got you. With that being said, I'm about to make the most unpopular decision ever. I'm going to say it again. I'm about to make the most unpopular decision ever. And guess what? I stand by everything that I'm about to do. I stand by everything that I'm about to say. I stand by everything that I live by. So with that being said, last night when I talked about Charlie and I broke some things down, and people was like, "Oh, Dana, you can't say that. You can't do that. You can't do that at all." I said, "Why?" Because if you do that and people know that I follow you, they're going to be mad at me and I ain't going to be able to follow you no more. And you know what I told them? Well, I think you need to end your membership then. Because if your membership is predicated on other people coming to see me, when I'm bringing commentary and I'm bringing facts, then guess what? This ain't where you need to be. Because one thing about me, I'm a no-nonsense type guy. And I don't care how nobody feel. And the reason why I don't care how nobody feel, because ain't nobody give a damn about how I feel. And I'm talking to a lot of folks. I see the stuff that's going on online, but one thing about me, I got tough skin. So when you come at me and I go back at you, don't go crying. Just understand you asked for this. I don't care if you family, friend, foe, pastor, bishop, cousin, brother. Nah. When you say dumb stuff and you come at me wrong, you get this work just like everybody else. So I heard the Democratic Party say, nope. And before I go there, they said that they caught the assassin today. They said his father brought him in. For people that text me earlier today and said, hey, Dana, they got him. My reply to them was, that's not him. And people was confused. They said, well, they say they got him. Let me break something down to you. We are living in a movie. We are looking at a show right now. You mean to tell me a 22-year-old kid can hit somebody point blank range? I'm sorry, from 200 yards out. And the artery, the jugular of the neck, from 200 yards. Now watch this. I can shoot. And I'm damn good. But from 200 yards out, that dial got to be right. The breathing got to be right. It's too much going on with that one shot for it to be a regular person. It's too much. On top of that, we looking at somebody that is revered around the world as a child of God. This is what's shocking to me. That no pastor, except for a certain few, no pastor have stood up and said, that's a brethren of the cloth. Why? Because he wasn't an ordained pastor. But what he was doing is what a lot of these pastors and bishops and lay members wish they could do. And they can do it. They just choose not to. So what Charlie did was went to college campuses and got the young people. And he held the uncomfortable conversation. A very uncomfortable conversation. And when he's holding these conversations, right? When he's holding these conversations, people don't understand. As I'm watching, and on Monday, I'm going to show a lot of videos. People don't understand simple logic over haterism. All you see on the internet is he was racist. But you can't see one point where he was racist at. And I see people talk about, oh, he called black people stupid. I'm going to ask this question one more time. How many times have colored people called black people stupid? I'll wait. So because he's of a different race, he's exempt, or should I say he's banned from calling black people and niggas stupid. And I know a lot of people ain't gonna like what I got to say about this because they don't understand what I'm saying. But for the people that understand the fact that you never seen a black person, so for a colored person or an indigenous person, which you would never see, you would never see a true indigenous person call themselves black. One thing the Democratic Party hate is truth and for God to really be put forth in the forefront. And what I urge people to do is before I play the abundance of videos on Monday and break them down with you, I urge you to go binge watch. Because when you binge watch, you're going to see the same thing that I saw. And you're going to be like, wow, the Democratic Party really lied on this guy. You feel me? So at the end of the day, it's time out for people talking about, oh yeah, oh we black folks. You're not black. You're too dark to be black. And the real black people were the Caucasians, aka Charlie Kirk and them. They were called the original black people because they didn't have no melanin, which means they couldn't be out in the sun. Why? Because they were expire under the sunlight. I was about to say something else, but I had to change it real quick. So what I've seen, and if you look on my thumbnail, you'll see a picture of when I said they silenced Charlie Kirk. And I got to explain the thumbnail because YouTube have guidelines where if it's not explained right, or if you do the wrong thing, or if you lie, they can strike you. So let's go here and put the facts on top of the facts. The thumbnail, you see the Zionist star, you see the chair, you see the mic with a hole in it. You see Jasmine Crockett up on the top corner, and you see Jamal Bryant hanging right there. Why would I include Jamal Bryant and this with Charlie Kirk? Because I told y'all a couple days ago, I said Stephen Fetching and the crew are going to try to capitalize off of it because they have a following. And they're going to put it out to their Democratic partners that follows them and their followers to try to make a filibuster to make it seem like Charlie Kirk is a bad guy. Charlie Kirk's goal was to create a difference of opinion and debate about it. What do we do every day in the street when you see your homeboy and then you see your homeboy with somebody that disagree with you? You plant a seed for a difference of opinion and y'all debate about it, right? So I have a question. Why are church people getting mad at Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk say transgenderism is not of God? Let's go. Let's walk this dog real quick. I told you I ain't gonna be long. But why is church people mad at Charlie Kirk? Because Charlie Kirk said transgenderism is not of God. You're going to see that if you go look at the videos. On one video, he told the lady, ma'am, you are lost. And her reply was, Kamala Harris is who we need, not Donald Trump, because we can be who we want to be under Kamala Harris. Wait a minute. Why pastors and bishops are not speaking up about this? If you're really trying to win souls, you got to go into the most uncomfortable position and speak truth, whether your friend agree with you or not. I've never seen in my lifetime somebody get unalive because of free speech and the truth. I heard about it, but I wasn't living during that time. I wasn't living during Abraham Lincoln. I wasn't living during JFK. I wasn't living during Martin Luther King time. But I was living during a time that I met somebody by the name, no, let's not delete nobody. Nope. We ain't gonna delete nobody, Leash. Listen. Let the step and fetching crew, let them say what they gonna say, because I'm gonna destroy them. This is where we at. I'm gonna destroy them. I'm not a pastor. But I'm gonna go here. Ravens, O's, and Terps. That means you're from Baltimore. So now I'm about to say what I gotta say, dummy. Dude, you are actually making it seem like that's every church in America. It's a bozo talking point. Okay, if it's a bozo talking point, right? Why nobody in the church is talking about it, fool? You have pastors literally scared to talk about it because they're afraid their 501c3 going to be revoked. Now, one thing about it, I ain't going to play with you. I ain't here to play games. And I said it earlier, and my brother Shank Rock is here. I disagreed with him earlier. I just couldn't jump on a live because I was at work, but I disagreed with him. And I'm going to tell you why I disagreed with him. Because Shank Rock went deep into the situation. Shank Rock posted the story. But just like everybody else, including myself, I second guessed myself today. Because I said, wait a minute. The shooter was a MAGA? I really got mad because I'm the mayor of MAGAville. So I'm like, how did he get in? And he did this. That's betrayal. Until I had to go and investigate. Then I said, oh, this the game they want to play. And the Democrats used the media first to suck everybody in and tell people the lie. Well, the lie When people talking about, oh, it's the Republicans and they saying rhetoric that's bad. Oh, it's MAGA that's saying things that's bad. No. Let's go there. It's the Democrats that's saying everything that's bad. Dana, what do you mean? And you're going to see. The assassin family are Republicans. When he went to college at UT, whatever that is, he became revolutionized by the Democratic Party. I do believe you see Joe Biden that said Donald Trump is the greatest threat to our democracy. I'm going to pause right there. How can a republic be a democracy? Go get your favorite blogger. That's y'all that's on the lawn. Go get your favorite blogger and have him debate me. Go get Jamal Bryant and have him debate me. That's where this is at. Because when they executed Charlie Kirk, you got to realize they rose up an army of more God-fearing people that don't care about putting facts out there. Because transgenderism is a sickness and a mental illness. It is not something that's normal. Hey, Mama Mary. And if you want this proof, you can take it. Y'all know I share everything. So then Joe Biden said, Donald Trump is a genuine threat to this nation. How? When the nation now is on a better course than it was 4 years ago. Then he say he's a threat to our freedom. He's a threat to our democracy. He's literally a threat to everything America stands for. How? Joe Biden? Y'all fooled the so-called black people so long that they forgot that you were the one that put the crime bill together. Your words, Joe Biden, was black people need to stay in jail because they are descendants of monkeys. But you got the Don Lemons. You got the Jamal Bryants. You got the Michael Baisdens that buy into your bull crap and then get mad when young folks like me come out and when young folks like Charlie Kirk come out and say, y'all ignorant and stupid. Then he said, Donald Trump is a threat to our democracy and we cannot let him win. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin, talking to folks about what's at stake in this election. Tune in. Now, mind you, check this out. We talking about a president that got in illegally and used the auto pen to do everything. And I ain't talking about Bill Clinton yet, because while Joe Biden put the crime bill in place, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, they the ones that did the 3-strike rule. But wait a minute. I thought it was the Republicans. I thought it was MAGA. And he said, Trump poses many threats to our country. The right to choose, civil rights, voting rights, and America's standing in the world. Pause. He poses many threats to our country. The right to choose. Choose what? Joe Biden. If you're talking about abortion, right? That's not fair. And what do women say? They take a Democratic talking point. It's my body. It's my choice. When you go get pregnant, it's no longer your body. You are housing another body that deserves to be born into the world. unless you were raped or R-word, unless you were R-word, or unless that baby have a severe condition beyond tomorrow. Because I know some people, I know some great bishops who chose to get kids that had a little deficiency, but they are A-OK, and them bishops groomed them kids that they adopted as their own, and they are a beautiful family. So what you don't want and you throw away as trash is somebody else's treasure. So how is Donald Trump a threat to civil rights? Because he don't agree with you burning down cities and turning over cars? Voting rights. How is he a threat to voting rights when he said everybody should have one time to vote and not multiple times and steal elections? Then you said America standing in the world. America is the police for the world. And then you said it again, but the greatest threat he poses is to our democracy. Wait a minute. How did we ever become a democracy? Because I do believe the Pledge of Allegiance say, I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and unto the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So how was he a threat? Or was you the threat? This picture I put up, I said, all because of words. They got killed. Abraham Lincoln, JFK, Martin Luther King, Charlie Kirk, and that's not even Jesus Christ. That's not Jesus Christ right there. That's why I really didn't put that up there, because that's not Jesus Christ. So we're going to get into these talking points real quick before I get out of here. Jamal Bryant posted this. And Jamal Bryant said, white on white, hold on, let me tell you what he said. He said, white on white crime must stop. Our streets are not safe. The National Guard should be deployed immediately to stop such senseless. Wait a minute. The National Guard should be deployed immediately to stop such senseless crimes. These young men need some direction and mentorship. Where did he get the gun? Why did he drop out of school? Did he learn this from his father? If only he was in church. All statements made if he was black before you get offended. If that's not a contradiction to what this nigga always go do and say, then what is? This is what I mean. But let's listen to what the left had to say.
Killer, Tyler Robinson, he's not black. He's not trans. He's not Muslim. He's not an immigrant. He is not a Democrat. Meet Charlie Kirk's assassin, Tyler Robinson. He is a white, Christian, conservative, Republican male with a gun again. And statistically, when all of this was going on, when Fox News started declaring war, when Jesse Waters and Laura Ingraham, which recklessly tried to rile up their base that somehow the left was in charge of this, statistically, I knew that this was probably a white male, as all shooters are. And this seems to be MAGA grown terrorism. MAGA is a culture that embraces unrestricted access to guns. at all times. They want guns to have more rights than women. This is the don't tread on me crowd. This is the crowd that if anybody steps out of line to their dear leader, they get death threats, even within their own party. You can go no further than to ask Mitt Romney or John McCain before he died of a brain tumor. This is what happens to anybody who steps out of line with the cult leader. But Fox News and these right-wing influencers would have you believe that people like us that want people to have health care, that want a safe place for Charlie Kirk to have gone and done his job. I wanted Charlie Kirk to be able to go do what he wanted to do, even though I disagree with all of the hateful shit that he says. The world that I want to live in is a place where Charlie Kirk is not shot. And so what they've done, what Fox News and all of these right-wing influencers putting targets on so many liberals' backs, they've started a whole website about Charlie's murderers and listing people online and doxing them. And this is a homegrown problem. Donald Trump has the most divisive rhetoric that I've ever heard in my life. I've never heard American presidents speak out against their own citizens. And while all this was going on, these right-wing influencers were riling up, and Fox News was riling up the base and saying it's all these leftists. The Utah governor also revealed that there's a huge bot farm of Chinese and Russian bots that were in the algorithms owned by all of Trump's supporters. Utah Governor Spencer
Now, I had to stop this for a second. Russian and Chinese bots owned by who? Donald Trump supporters. How can a supporter own a bot? That's not possible. The bots are paid for and they just appear. So how can you own them? Ooh, let's listen to the lie.
Cox said Russian and Chinese bots are stoking violence online in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. So when Donald Trump found out that Charlie Kirk had been assassinated, executed, killed in cold blood, he was meeting with architects about his ballroom. Charlie Kirk's killer, Tyler Robinson, he's not black. He's not trans. He's not Muslim. He's not an immigrant. He is not a Democrat. Meet Charlie Kirk's assassin, Tyler Robinson. He is a white, Christian, conservative, Republican male with a gun again. And statistically, when all of this was going on, when Fox News started declaring war, when Jesse Waters and Laura Ingraham, which recklessly tried to rile up their base that somehow the left was in charge of this, statistically, I knew that this was probably a white male, as all shooters are. And this seems to be MAGA grown terrorism.
All right. So that's what was said, right? Let me bring the truth. But before I bring the truth, I'm going to say this. Javier Lopez, I've never seen you before, which means that you jumped on my page because either somebody sent you or you are one of my haters that changed the name. I bet you won't get on here and debate me. I bet you won't get on here and debate me. And ain't no hate in my blood. None. I just hate the ignorance of niggas like you. So if you're not going to come and get this work, ain't no need for you to talk. Just because you got lips don't mean you should speak. And that's the problem that I'm having now. Out of a lot of church leaders, one of their own get assassinated because God did say for us to go out and speak the gospel and don't try to convert nobody, but give them truth, right? And all of us should cover one another, right? That's what it say, right? I'm paraphrasing it, but that's what it say overall, right? Oh, okay. So let's get down to the bottom of the lies that Jamal Bryant, aka Mr. Step and Fetch 'em, along with the Democratic Party, has been spewing. I told you I don't play games, right? So here's the shooter. Here's the assassin. And what you about to see is 4 points that he put on the bullets. I told y'all it probably was a 5.56. The first thing he put was, "Hey, fastest catch." And I love when Professor Nez broke it down, because he broke down the meaning and association, right? So the cultural meaning to "hey, fastest catch" is, this appears to be a taunting phrase directed at fascists, implying an act of resistance or attack, e.g., catch, as in catching a bullet or thrown object. It's not a widely established historical slogan, but fits into modern anti-fascist rhetoric, often used in protests or online to mock authoritarian figures. The associations of it strongly tied to anti-fascist, aka Antifa, activism. Y'all heard me talking about them boys. Y'all heard me talking about them boys, right? I've been telling y'all about Antifa. Y'all heard me talking about them, right? Which is predominantly left wing. Who's left wing? Democrats. I'm going to read it again. Associations. Strongly tied to anti-fascist, Antifa activism, which is predominantly left wing. Media reports on the incident describe it as an anti-fascist slogan popularized in leftist circles. It's not commonly linked to right-wing groups, which is Republicans or MAGA, who might embrace fascist-leaning ideologies rather than oppose them. So his associations of what he used is not Republican or MAGA. It's Democrat. That's one. Put one in the chat. That's one. We're going to go to number 2. The second slogan that was on the bullet was Bella, CO, Bella, CO, Bella, CO, CO, CO. Cultural meaning. This is a repeated line from Bella CO, an Italian folk song originating from the 19th century, but famously adopted by Italian partisans, resistance fighters during World War II. It symbolizes farewell and resistance against oppression, particularly fascism under Mussolini. The lyrics evoke themes of struggle, death, and defiance, e.g., a partisan asking to be buried with a flower symbolizing beauty and resistance. In modern times, it's been revived in global protests, TV shows like Money Heist, and activist movements as an anthem of solidarity and rebellion. Associations heavily associated with left-wing politics. Heavily associated with left-wing politics, including communists, socialists, and anarchist groups. Due to its roots in anti-fascist partisans, many of whom were left-leaning, It's a staple in transitional leftist activism, from labor strikes to anti-authoritarian demonstrations, and rarely appears in right-wing contexts. So hold on. You mean to tell me 2 out of 2, this is Democratic talk. This is Democratic actions and Democratic associations. So where do they get it from that this is that he was part of MAGA? Where do they get it from that he's part of the Republican Party? He's not. He was before he went to college, and then he transitioned over to the Democratic Party. But let's go. The third thing that was on the bullet. If you read this, you are gay. LMAO. Right? Cultural meaning. This seems to be a playful or ironic troll meme, often used in online spaces like gaming communities, e.g. references to Helldivers and similar games where players engrave or label items humorously. LMAO, laughing my ass off, adds a layer of intent humor, turning it into a joke rather than a serious moment. It could be self-depreciating or mocking, playing on stereotypes of shock value. Watch this. The associations, not strongly political on its own, but in online meme culture. It's linked to ironic, edgy humor from platforms like Discord, Reddit, or gaming forums, which often overlap with progressive or LGBTQ plus friendly spaces. We're gay is used lightheartedly rather than derogatorily. In the context of the other engravings, it's been tied to left-leaning online trolls rather than right ones, though it could appear anywhere in meme culture. So hold on. That's 3 out of 3. I'm at 75% now, where this is left-wing rhetoric. This is Democratic talk. This is Democratic actions. And y'all want me to believe that this guy belonged to us and MAGA? I don't think you want me to do that. I really don't think you want me to do that. And especially with me knowing what I know, doing the research that I do, and putting the facts where I always put the facts at, right where it belongs. You really don't want me to keep going. But for the people like Marvin over on Facebook that don't know a goddamn thing, that will sit back and try to criticize everything because he's against the orange man. Me and Shankrock had that conversation. How people will jump on bandwagons when they really don't know what's going on themselves. But he grabs the jock straps of 2 incompetent people. Mayor Brandon Scott and Governor Wes Moore, who only do public appearances to make it seem like or give the illusion that everything is fine in Baltimore. Now, I know some people going to get even mad about me when I said that, but they're going to hate me when I said that. But you can't go around lying on groups or people and then thinking it's fine. Because some people look at the computer screen and they are locked in and they say, oh, they must be telling the truth. No, research everything. Didn't Jesus say my people shall perish from the lack of knowledge? But no, you got people that want to glorify pastors, bishops, pastors, bishops, deacons, musicians, singers, everybody. No, man, we ain't doing none of that. We're going to do what the Bible say do. Study thyself to show thyself approved. That's what we're going to do. And in Bible study, if you got a different meaning than what's being taught, you should not be disruptive to the pastor or the Bible study person that's teaching. If you have a question, you should not bring reproach. You should ask the question nicely. And if it becomes an issue, leave it alone. The Bible said, go get a deacon or somebody of higher respect. And then you go to that leader and y'all sit down and talk about it. But that part of church has gone. That part of church is gone. The only thing majority of the churches worry about now, if you ain't bringing an offering, then you can't be part of this group. And you can't be on this group. And you can't be singing in this group. I'm telling you, I wish I had $1 trillion. Because the churches that I will go support, y'all will be like, oh my God, why did he do that? Because I believe in what they doing. And they just need an extra oomph. See, a lot of people got it out the mud. Or should I say this? I'm sorry. A lot of people didn't get it out the mud. But the ones that really got it out the mud and it wasn't handed to them, I got nothing but the utmost respect, because ain't nothing easy when you building from the mud. If it's handed to you, then you're great. That's all you got to do is continue to maintain. But when you got to build it brick by brick, and you don't know where the funds coming from, this or that, but God makes it so that it happens, those are the people that you really look out for. Lord knows, I wish I was a trillionaire. So number 4, notices, bulges, OWO. What's this? The cultural meaning. This is a well-known meme from the fairy fandom. Anthropomorphic animal enthusiasts. That's the first time I ever heard about that. And online role play communities. What? OWO is an emoticon mimicking a, that's the first time I ever heard about that. Okay. Mimicking a cute, surprised face, wide eyes, and puckering mouth. Popularized in anime, fairy art, and memes. Notices, bulge, is a sexual innuendo referring to spotting a genital outline, often used in flirtatious or humorous role play scenarios. The phrase as a whole parodies awkward or exaggerated attraction in internet subcultures. The associations, primarily linked to the furry community, which has strong ties to what? The LGBTQ plus culture. Many furries identify as queer or trans and tends to lean left Democrat politically due to emphasis on inclusivity, creativity, and opposition to conservative norms. It's not typically associated with right-wing groups who might view such subcultures as degenerate or fringe, or, in street terminology, weird. So 4 out of 4, the assassin of Charlie Kirk is against God, is against MAGA, is against Republicans, and have strong ties to the LGBTQ community. So how can, and I'm going to say it greatly, how can anybody from the Democratic Party, not let alone Jamal Bryant, get on here? Here means the internet, and spread propaganda that's false to make it seem like dude was with the right side. And then people gonna say, oh, that's not true. The left don't do that. Well, I just want you to listen to 3 minutes and 42 seconds of all Democrats and what they say about Donald Trump, MAGA, and other folks on the right side. And tell me, is this not the same rhetoric that got Charlie Kirk assassinated? It's not the right fault. It's the left fault. Because if they not spitting rhetoric like what you about to hear, then maybe this guy wouldn't be influenced to go out and hurt somebody or assassinate somebody who thinks differently from you and that wants you not to be like him, but to just think. I'm sorry. I'm going to come out and openly say it. I got a problem with pastors that can sit by and say, I'm a child of God. I preach the word of God. But y'all have nothing to say about a man that preached the word of God, but brought it from a different stance, a different level, and will sit there and not say nothing after he been assassinated. There's no way y'all can continue to sit on your hands and close your mouth and let pastors like Jamal Bryant run lies all through the internet. If you do, then you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Do I hate Jamal Bryant? No, I don't. But I believe in holding people accountable. Because when I came up in church, I was held accountable. When I did stupid stuff, I was held accountable. So now that I'm grown and I'm older, nobody else hold nobody accountable no more? If that's the case, I can truly make a case and say I felt like I was picked on in the church. Let's make it make sense. I'm not trying to turn nobody against nobody. I just want people to hold people accountable. That's it. I purposely posted something on my Facebook the other day. And everybody, oh my God, you can't say that. You can't do that. You can't. Jamal Bryant went on there and lied to everybody with that demon and Kamala Harris, and all of you niggas was quiet. Ain't say nothing. Jamal Bryant caused 1,300 melanated people to lose their job at Target. And the DEI hires were what? The gay folks. He said nothing. Y'all said nothing. If this is the way it's going to go, then oh boy. Oh boy. I'm about to act a donkey. And I dare one of y'all say something. Because the last time I was at this point, you know what was said to me? Well, Dana, you in church and you can't cuss at pastors because God ain't pleased. Listen, if y'all ain't holding pastors accountable for doing wrong things, do not come my way. Because of the same God that we all serve is going to get me for cussing out a pastor, he better get that pastor, the same God better get that pastor and for steering all of his flock the wrong way. But let's listen to the rhetoric.
Waves of conversation discourse in America for God knows how many years. Enjoy.
Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Right now, the question is, are Republican members of Congress going not only to roll over to Donald Trump's will, but to roll over our democracy and allow him to take over this country as a fascist dictator?
A fascist political party embraces or refuses to disavow political violence as an instrument for obtaining and maintaining political power in society. So everybody was on Joe Biden's case when he said that there were semi-fascist characteristics of the Republican Party. But I'm sorry, if the shoe semi-fits, you semi-wear it.
Carol, it could be any of you. It could be anyone who stands against a fascist regime that is threatening a war against its own American cities.
They have decided that the only way that they can bring about this white supremacy agenda.
I want to play this really quickly. This is an audio of Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre years ago. Well, not that long ago, actually, last year during the election cycle, when asked, you know, this was right after President Trump had more than one assassination attempt. I was live during Butler, which was one of the most terrifying broadcasts I've ever seen, next to this Charlie Kirk broadcast, because I was live when I found out he was gone. I still can't believe it. But listen to what she says when asked. A reporter says, well, isn't this the same type of rhetoric that causes all this violence? Listen to her response.
In the president's Christmas address, he called for Americans to reject the poison of politics. But last year, he compared his political opponents to segregationists, labeled them semi-fascist. Don't comments like that contribute to political poison?
Look, the president is going to call out what he sees, right? That is his job as a president.
And there's no question that Donald Trump has visions, as we saw from his video with the Unified Reich, which was a completely knowing and intentional inclusion in that video. Let's be real here. He is paving the way to become a Vladimir Putin or to become an Adolf Hitler or a Kim Jong-un. That's what he wants to be.
Every down ballot race matters. This fascist administration didn't come from anywhere. They have planted the seeds for years.
You have two choices, or you don't vote, but you have two choices if you do. Dealing with their challenges. And the other, Donald Trump, is about taking us backward.
The other is about fascism. Why can't we just say it?
Yes, we can say that.
Donald Trump is a fascist.
We're not going to let him stop us. Are you with me on that? Ándale. It also means, as Mark was saying earlier, we don't await the punch thrown. by these would-be fascists to land. We punch first and we punch harder. You may say to yourself, well, those aren't the rules. There are no refs in this game. Fuck the rules. We are going to win whatever it takes.
Pause. And he's one of the ones that routed up the Democratic for the Democratic Party. And he told y'all, we ain't playing by no rules. After rules. I'm going to play it again.
There are no refs in this game. Fuck the rules. We are going to win whatever it takes. We're going to take this to them in every way that we can.
Sorry, I know.
And with that being said, even if it means unaliving a true patriot and Charlie Kirk. But I'm going to give you the real reason in a few minutes.
Some people's sensibilities, I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
What happened to the party of joy? What happened to the party of tolerance?
With that being said, I'm going to go here with that. With that being said, I'm going to go here with that. Charlie Kirk was laying the ground rules. He was in colleges. He was getting all the Gen folks, for the Gen X and the Gen Z. He was getting them all. People was clapping to him. People was applauding him. People was dying to see him come to their campus, to their community. People wanted Charlie Kirk there because he brought a difference of opinion. Well, let's go here. The reason why they really had to get rid of Charlie Kirk is because Charlie Kirk was going to run for president. And they knew they couldn't stop him. They knew that no matter what they did, he had the young folks. When you reach the young folks, you reach everybody, because now people following the young folks. With that being said, you ain't had to like Charlie Kirk's speech. You ain't had to like Charlie Kirk as a person if you knew him. But if you knew him, you'll know that he was a very great guy. You ain't have to agree with what he spoke. I told you on Monday, I'm going to play a up-teen level of videos, which is going to prove a lot of people wrong. But they said he was he was wrong for talking about the DEI. Oh, that's why I tell everybody, don't listen to sound bites. Sound bites can be misleading. Take what he said in the soundbite and go look at the original, the whole piece. When you look at the whole piece, then you can put your own analogies together. Stop taking what people say as Bible. Go do your own research. When you do your own research, you'll understand that a lot of these people are just stirring up trouble. Like the step infections. With that being said, get ready for Monday. Because Monday is going to be part 2 when I destroy all the narratives of Charlie Kirk being a racist, of Charlie Kirk hating colored people. Let's keep it real. I hate niggas. And I hate black people. Well, Dana, how can you say that and you black? No, I'm not. I'm colored. If you really want to get deep, I'm indigenous. When you know who you are, can't nobody call you what they want you to be. That's all you got to do is ask them, what color are you? Watch, they say black, and I laugh at them all the time. You ignorant and you stupid. You too old to not know who you are. Now, you can be mad. You can be mad at me all you want, but I'm gonna give you a snippet of a Charlie Kirk video that's coming on Monday. I'm gonna give you two snippets. Snippet number one goes like this.
Taught people for free and healed people for free. Why don't we do the same?
Churches should.
Churches should? Okay. But why can't we do that on a more systemic level through government programs? Hey, maybe private companies with all of their record profits. Why hasn't Elon put up some of his own private money to help end homelessness?
Because homelessness is not a money problem. Almost every single one of them has either mental problems or drug disorders. It is not a matter of lack of capital. It's that they should either be in an asylum or they're doing hard drugs and they don't want to stop. We have homelessness.
Asylums that Ronald Reagan defunded? The asylums that Ronald Reagan
Yes, if we want to talk about bringing back asylums, I'm all for that.
If Jesus fed people for free, taught people for free, and healed people for free, why don't we do the same?
Churches should.
Churches should? Okay. But why can't we do that on a more systemic level through government programs? Hey, maybe private companies with all of their record profits. Why hasn't Elon put up some of his own private money to help end homelessness?
Because homelessness is not a money problem. Almost every single one of them has either mental problems or drug disorders. It is not a matter of lack of capital. It's that they should either be in an asylum or they're doing hard drugs and they don't want to stop. We have homelessness.
Asylums that Ronald Reagan defunded? The asylums that Ronald Reagan
Yes, if we want to talk about bringing back asylums, I'm all for that.
If Jesus fed people for free, taught people for free, and healed people for free, why don't we do the same?
Churches should.
Oh, good question. But watch this, because this is one of the talking points that the left used and said that he was racist about. I told you, do your own research. You're going to see for yourself. Where's the racist part? Let's go.
All right. I'm here to ask the age-old question, DEI.
Okay, great.
Yeah, give me your perspective on DEI, and because based on what I heard earlier, I feel like you don't think I belong here.
Oh,
because
really? Why?
Of how I am a black man, and because of DEI, I'm not qualified enough to be here. Yes, I am.
Okay, great, then you belong. But why do I have to prove that to you? You don't. You brought it up. I didn't.
Okay, but can you explain to me your position on DEI?
Yes, people should not be in positions just because of the color of their skin. Hard stop.
Okay, but
wait a minute. What did you say, Charlie? What did you say?
Can you explain to me your position on DEI?
Yes, people should not be in positions just because of the color of their skin. Hard stop.
Okay, but do you feel like
People should not be in positions just because the color of their skin. Did he say black people? Did he say white people? He said people, which means everybody. Where's the racism? But let's go.
Here because
I'm not feeling anything towards you, actually. Okay, I'm not prejudicing you. I'm not stereotyping you. I'm saying that it's a material.
I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are.
No, you are. You said I don't feel comfortable being here. You started with.
I didn't say I wasn't comfortable being here. I said I feel like you made it to where I got here through DEI.
So let's examine that. What have I said that makes you feel that way?
When you mentioned how DEI is only just putting people of color and marginalized groups in spaces, even if they're not so and so
correct. That's exactly what DEI does.
But that's not all that it does. You're categorizing it as something it isn't.
No, that's exactly that is the charter mission.
That's not all.
Okay,
that it
so
does.
diversity, equity. So equity is outcome based. is about making people who are of different skin colors have the same outcome, regardless whether or not they are qualified. The best example we have of this is the Students for Fair Admission Harvard Supreme Court case, where black students, they did not, literally they could have a SAT score 300 points lesser than the Asian equivalent and still get into Harvard. That is DEI in practice. I believe when you're hiring for an organization or for a company or for whatever you are doing, you should prioritize merit and character, and race should mean nothing. We should build around things that matter and not things that don't matter.
Mind you, he's at Texas A&M, which is a predominantly colored university with some Asians here, some Caucasians here, and guess who's cheering? The colored folks.
You have to also take into the fact that black people have only been able to completely legally be able to make profit for themselves for around 60 years. And this is no. Since segregation ended in 1965 and the Equal Rights Act in 1965. So what you're talking, there's not.
How does that? So let's talk about you. How did that impact you? How did something that happened 60 years ago impact your life?
It impacts me all the time.
How?
What do you? Okay.
You're at Texas A&M. You're doing great.
Okay. Yes. Sure. Yeah.
So aren't you a living example that all that's a bunch of nonsense and you could just act good and behave well and succeed?
But there's also living examples of the exact opposite. If you look in the impoverished neighborhoods in certain parts of Chicago or St. Louis, there's black communities being thrown aside because they're not getting education.
Thrown aside? Okay,
yes,
so
aside.
I think we can get somewhere. Why have the black community gotten poorer since the passage of the Civil Rights Act? Tell me that.
Because of the way the culture has been perpetuated through the years.
Hold on. Think about it. So they were richer when we were segregated and more racist. America's become less racist.
What about Tulsa?
Yeah, no one's going to defend what happened in Tulsa again. But let's talk. We're talking about a lot of different cities. We're talking about Chicago, Tulsa. But let's.
He just said nobody's going to defend and what happened in Tulsa. He pretty much telling you that he's not in agreement in what happened to Black Wall Street. Let's go.
Let's again. This is a very important point. Why is it that Black America has gotten richer on average, poorer on average, since America passed all these anti-racist laws?
I can't answer them.
Okay, yeah. So do you think the fact that 70% of black youth don't have a dad around is probably pretty important?
That's because of the culture.
So respectfully allow me to interject. How does the white culture impact the fact whether or not a black dad stays around when he impregnates a woman?
I'm not saying it's the white culture.
What is it?
The culture that has been perpetuated through the 200 years of slavery, the 100 years of segregation, and Jim Crow laws.
The marriage, so I got to interject again, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt too much. But in 1960, before the Civil Rights Act, 20% of black youth had a dad around. Now it's, 20% were single fathers, 80% had a dad around. It's been inverted. So we actually have seen black dads run away from their kids the last 60 years. Why is that?
Because of the raised incarceration rates, because of the perpetuated culture.
So how does one go to jail?
That's obvious. I'm not answering that question.
Yeah, so maybe it's because they committed crimes?
Okay, but when you're forced it's not just this is old, this is in the past, this doesn't affect you anymore.
Okay, so actually let's take a different group. How did the Holocaust impact Jews? They're doing pretty well.
Well, because they got reparations, we didn't.
How? What reparations did the Jews get?
Through acknowledgement, through money, through
we acknowledge slavery happened.
Okay, but you're sitting here and acting like it plays no role.
No, but to your argument, the Holocaust was 80 years ago. Half of all the Jews on the planet were killed. Everything they earned was taken. Jews are doing great. They're the wealthiest subgroup, racial group or ethnic group in America. If all of a sudden something that happened 80 years ago impacts your material prosperity, how did Jews defy the curve? How did poor Asians do so well? Why is it that Asians are now the wealthiest minority in America, many of whom came with no money in the 1950s or 60s?
Because of the culture and opportunities that were provided to them.
But you're not hearing me out. Black Americans have had the same opportunities. However,
people still look at us like criminals every day.
Hold on, but I don't look at you like a criminal.
I'm not saying you do, I'm saying some people do.
But I mean, do you want me to be brutally honest with you, or do you want me to be politically correct?
Brutally honest with you.
Okay, do black people commit more crimes than white people?
Uh-oh.
It's not even close.
Okay. But you have to take into account the culture that has been perpetuated.
Okay, got it. So we can agree on this. Do you mean internal black culture?
It's not. It's deeper than that. Like,
do you think? Let's take time out. Do you think the average rap artist that a black kid in the hood is listening to is glorifying marriage and family and saving your money?
That's what sells because it's a culture thing. It's not just within the black community.
I agree. No, but hold on.
Everyone listens to it. It's not just isolated.
It's bad for everyone who listens to it. The point being is that black youth, as they are being raised, their role models are largely not glorifying staying with one woman, getting married, going to church. And if you're wrong, show me the black role models that are doing that. There might be a couple I could think of, maybe. But if it's about culture, you're right. The internal black culture has collapsed the last 60 years. We're no longer elevating the family. We're no longer elevating staying with the person that you're with. So our contention here as conservatives is that the systemic racism stuff is a bunch of rubbish. Instead, it's systemic bad choices. If you're a homeowner, you need to listen to this.
Whoa.
When's the last time you checked on your home title? That's the legal proof that you own. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code Kirk.
Do you feel that systemic racism isn't real?
Of course not. What can I do that you can't do? Name it.
Okay.
No, seriously. What can I do that you can't do?
Fallacy. That's a slippery slope.
No,
fallacy.
it's not.
I don't know why.
Very simple.
No,
because back in 1940, you would have been able to answer that question. Well, Charlie, there's a bathroom over there that I can't go to. There's a major league team.
I can't walk into the grocery store and get the same looks that you do. I walked into Brookshire Brothers a couple of weeks ago when I was looked at.
That's an insanely hyper paranoid way of living life. But that's not evidence, right?
It's a real example.
By the way, if I walk into a black neighborhood, I get bad looks too. Okay, so I don't know what the contention is.
Because of the way you treat our culture and the way you perpetuate.
Oh, wait, hold on. The way we treat your culture, we have gone to such great calisthenics and ridiculous gymnastics to prove that we're not racist. In fact, it's the worst thing that you could be called in America. We had, during George Floyd 2020, we had hundreds of millions of dollars given to Black Lives Matter. I don't know where that money went. Did it improve material worth of black America? So, I mean, and we actually do know where it went, actually. And so, but going back to your main contention, when you practice DEI, because that was your main point, right? You are rewarding bad culture. You even acknowledge it. You are saying that someone should be there based on the color of their skin. We say skin color doesn't matter. If you want that position, work harder, study harder, and then you might be able to get that position.
When we're forced into underfunded communities where schools are based off of property value, we can't.
Well, actually, school choice is now the law of the land here in Texas, so that's not correct. Secondly,
do you just expect a single-parent home to pick up and move into some rich neighborhood?
Well, again, so let's go back to why are they the single-parent home?
Because the hundreds of years.
Do you believe in the maxim or the belief that you should take responsibility for your decisions?
It's not just one person's decisions. It's so much deeper than that.
See,
why are you trying to?
That's where you and I have a different belief. You believe in this.
It's not. It's a fact.
No, it's a belief. Again, you have to tell me then, why do Jews do so well? Holocaust didn't impact their material worth. How did Asians do so well? And by the way, even more so, why are Hispanics getting so much wealthier? If we were so racist, why are Hispanics all of a sudden gaining income the last 20 years? There's something.
It's a difference in culture.
Hold on, y'all.
I don't know why y'all are clapping. But it's a difference in culture. The way that each culture is treated is so vastly different in America.
But again, you have to tell me, other than bad looks at the grocery store, how else is your future, you as a man in America, not a black man, how is your future somehow restricted by racism?
My natural hair is seen as unprofessional when I go into an office or workplace. When I walk around in certain places, people just assume, like I've said earlier, the dirty looks. When people think you are automatically the worst of the worst solely because
we don't think that.
You've interrupted me like 10 times
because
now.
you think you know what white people think, and you don't.
I don't know what white people think.
Then why do you keep on saying you know what white people think?
Because I've seen it. I'm not
you've
saying
seen our thoughts?
I've seen what people have done to me and people who look like me around the world and in America.
How? Again, you are. Let's just make an example. You are here in the wealthiest country ever, at an amazing university with all the opportunity imaginable in front of you. And all you want to do is look backwards at everything that prevented you when you are a glaring example that there is no systemic racism and you can actually achieve your wildest dreams.
Whoa, I never said that. Hey, I'm not the only black person who exists out there. There's so many people who this culture is affecting to this day.
Do you know black Americans are the richest black people on earth?
What statistic
Africa.
is that? Okay, I need you to pull that up like right now.
You can. Black Americans per capita on average.
Can you pull that up?
I mean, I'm hosting an event right now. I don't know what to tell you, but anyone can fact check me on this. So you cannot find a black majority country or any country where black people have significant representation where they are as wealthy, because even the poorest people in America are in the top 5%, the top 2% of wealth around the world. And so my whole belief is stop acting like you're a victim and start making better choices.
Not acting like a victim. Whoa.
Respect.
This is not a victim mentality.
No, it fundamentally is, because white people are not out to get you. There's nothing. There is nothing holding black people back. Let me say that again. There is nothing holding black people back. In fact, the opposite. You can get into colleges with lower test scores.
But
you could say things that white people can't say and not be fired for it. Black people are wildly disrepresentation.
People say that to me all the time, and they just walk around like it doesn't mean anything around here.
Say what? Say the what?
The N-word. I'm not going to say it on this public platform, but people say it to me all the time.
It derogatorily.
Yes.
No, I think you're lying.
Why would I be lying about
So you're trying to tell me at this campus, did you report it to Student Services?
I'm not. I have too much on my plate to worry about this.
So you're going to say at this campus, you're going to indict the moral character of Texas A&M.
I'm not indicting the moral character of Texas A&M.
Oh, yes, you are. You're saying that.
I'm indicting the moral character of one person or a few people.
Oh, now it's one. So you heard it all the time, and now it's one. Got it. So
it's not okay. You're taking me out of
this is the point: is that
context,
I don't believe you, because now you resort back to a race hoax to make it seem as if the white kids on this campus are like racist and terrible.
White kids.
Oh, so was it a black guy that said it to you?
I'm not.
It matters a lot, because this is how lies are able to grow. Jussie Smollett, we see this. You have to challenge them head on.
Do you think I'm lying when I say that people say the N-word around here? And just
if I think a white person comes up to you derogatorily and says, "Shut up, N-word," I'm
not saying they said it.
I said, are they saying it derogatorily?
But that doesn't mean it's word for word like that.
But okay, so then it's not an insult then. So then don't bring it up as if it's evidence of racism.
Because you brought the N-word up first. I didn't.
No, I didn't.
No. You specifically said, name me an instance of the N-word.
No, I said black people can say things that white people can't say. Of course that's true.
But that's automatically implying that one word.
It's more than that. But let me just kind of build this out further.
What is it then?
There's a lot of things black people can say.
Explain it to me.
You want me to give you more examples of things? Yes. Black people are allowed to talk about black culture in a way that white culture cannot. For example, black people can go up and say that there's a baby mama problem in black America, and white people are not allowed to say that. Oh, I just did. So what are you gonna do? Cancel me? Black people are allowed to say. Black people are allowed to say.
I'm a grown man. I got way too much
Black people are allowed to say that there is a systemic fraud issue within the PP loan application in black America. Black people are much easier to be able to say that black individuals, despite being 13% of the American population, commit 55% of the murders. If most white people say that at a job, they would get fired for being a racist. I don't care because I say whatever I want. So black individuals have much more intellectual public freedom than white people do. If a white person were to come up and say, you know, black America really needs to get its act together and stop sleeping around all the time, and it needs to actually have
why would you
because it's true. Because
why would you just walk up to someone and talk and attack their culture from the outside?
Well, hold on. Hold on. Let's look at the evidence. You said to myself, you said there's all these people suffering in Chicago. There's all these people that are terrible. I'm telling you why. It's because there's been bad decisions that have been institutionalized. Let me finish. And rap artists and athletes and people at the top level of black society that refuse to ever challenge the core rot in black America, which is that they are allowing degeneracy and hedonism to eat the soul of what once was a beautiful black culture, and instead they go around saying it's the boogeyman of racism, the white man is out to get you, and the result is black America is doing worse than it was in the 1960s. That is the contention, period.
It's not just, it's a culture. It's so much deeper than the present day we are in. I don't know why you're pretending like it just doesn't matter.
What doesn't matter? You mean things that happen? Again, I've been through this multiple times. Let me just ask you
but
one.
You're not listening to understand.
No,
you're listening to reply.
No, I'm doing both actually. And so, but let me just ask one final question, right? Which is that you have your entire future ahead of you. When you are hired for a job, would you rather be hired because of your race or because of how qualified you are?
It doesn't boil down to just that.
That's what DEI is, man.
No, it's
yes,
not.
it is.
No,
it
it's
is
not.
definitionally the hiring of people.
They're not just going to immediately see. They're going to.
You get extra points if you're black with DEI. That's how it works. Racial quotas elevate people based on the color of their skin.
So do you think I got extra points to come here?
I don't know. You said you were qualified, but affirmative action was institutionalized in Harvard and in Texas and a lot of other places. We know this. So I again, TU, we don't like them, right? So, but again, I just want to I want to just repeat this point. Where can I go to work that you can?
It's not just that.
Exactly. There is nothing that is preventing black people from prospering. Nothing. The only thing is that you guys have been hypnotized to be victims of your own mind, to think as if there's a white person out to get you. I walk in the grocery store, they look at me differently. All that stuff is complete rubbish. The thing that is preventing you.
Life experiences. You're just denying my experience. I just shared to you in front of all these people.
Yes, if you think that, okay, let me just be very clear.
I know.
America has come really far if your best example of racism is getting bad looks in a grocery store. We have made incredible racial moral progress.
That's only my experience. There are so many other people
out there. But I'm happy to hear every example that they have. It boils down to this. We are not just a racist country, we are the least racist country ever to exist. We go out of our way not to be called the R word, to demonstrate that we aren't racist, to show to people that I have compassion for others and that I want to try to help people of different skin color. But at its fundamental core, I have to go back to this. I don't actually think skin color matters that much. I don't. I want a country that aims towards MLK's dream of one based on content of character and one on competency. I think the hyper-race obsession of this country is really bad. It's really bad for everybody involved, including black America. And I would just ask you, what would you do to improve the material well-being of black America? What is your solution?
Education.
Okay, we've spent trillions of dollars on education.
It's not
trillions.
You need to fundamentally change the system of education because there's not enough funding. Teachers are not paid enough anywhere. Let's be honest. We need to seriously fix our education, especially when public school education comes from property taxes. When you're in a low-income neighborhood, you're not going to get high-income teachers.
If you had to choose more money for education or more dads for black kids, what would you say?
That goes hand in hand. Education goes into
I agree.
Family
That's
planning.
why if we get more dads into homes, it starts solving the problem.
No, education is what solves the problem.
Well, hold on. But again, if you're just educating and there's not a dad at home reinforcing it, we've seen this play out. We see this in Chicago. In Baltimore, we've spent hundreds of billions of dollars in Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit. We have entire classes of kids that can't read at grade level. We have incredible examples of this, and it goes back to this. If you want to have a privileged life in America, very simple. Start acting a certain way.
What do you mean act a certain way?
Get married to one person and stay married to that person and don't abandon them, of which 75% of black men do.
So, okay, we have 2 black men right here. By that statistics, one of us is not going to get married to one woman. So,
okay, I hope you guys defy the odds.
Okay, so
were you raised by a two-parent household?
Yes, I was.
Okay, good, and that's why you are probably here, because that elevates my argument.
But the reason why they are here is because of the education they received. Both my parents got their bachelors at colleges.
I'm not discounting education, but I'm saying the parental family nuclear unit is fundamental. It solves everything, and it's not just a hypothesis.
Education is what builds that fundamental family structure.
That's where we disagree. More government education is not going to put dads back in the home.
I'm saying just education in general.
Again, New York spends 4 times as much on education than Idaho. It's not a spending thing, and we'll just end with this. Our belief system is that you come down to the most foundational family unit, and when that breaks down so severely, don't be shocked if that group, when it acts that way, stays in poverty over a longer period of time. Asians are incredibly loyally married. It's one of the reasons why Asian Americans do so well in this country. Hispanics do very well. White Americans increasingly are not doing as well.
They also came here by choice, too. My ancestors did not come here by choice, but
so
we don't have to go
again,
too far into that.
We don't have to go into that. I want to get to the next question. Again, you should be kissing the ground because you're right. You didn't come here by choice. But
why are
the
you
other,
telling me to?
hold on, I'm telling you right now, you should be kissing the ground with gratitude because you're right. You are not in Africa, and you should be thankful you're not in Africa, that you're in the United States of America. That's my end of contention. Thank you very much.
Wow. And the Democratic Party ran a whole lot of love against Charlie Kirk. And that's one of the videos that they said he was a racist at because he was talking about black people. This is why I say go look at every video that they tried to play a clip of instead of playing the whole video. Because when you look at the whole video, you will get the understanding of what he's doing. He's building on top of you guys. Charlie Kirk's a good man. Rest in peace, Charlie. I'm glad I got to meet you. I'm glad we got to form a friendship. I'm glad we got to trip and chill and bond and talk on the phone. I'm glad I got to meet your kids. I'm glad I got to meet your wife. You inspired me to aim higher and shoot for more. You also inspired me. I failed, but I'm on a roll. And I got a goal that when I get angry, not to lash out. That's what my new resolution is. And I'm asking God to help me curve my attitude. The reason why the Democrats got Charlie Kirk out of here is because they knew if they didn't do it now in his medium infant stage, when he reached that stage to become president or to run for president, it wasn't nothing they can do. So what they saying is that MAGA and the Republican Party only had Charlie Kirk. What I'm saying, there's a guy by the name of DanaJay that's coming. Might be a little more radical than Charlie Kirk. But I'm going to say this. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. This weekend is a big weekend. Enjoy your family. I believe this weekend should be family weekend. You got boxing tomorrow night. You got football tonight. And you got football Sunday. And you got football Saturday during the day. Go get some crabs. Enjoy your family. You don't have to be great to get started. But you have to get started to be great. Be someone important. Be yourself. And if you can find it in your heart, send a prayer up for Charlie Kirk's daughters and his wife. That's all. Don't be like the Democrats and boo when people wanted to pray for that man. Don't be like the Democrats and talk reckless about a young man that beat cancer and that wanted to be a police officer. Don't talk bad, or don't be like the Democrats and talk bad about a young woman that was murdered in Lincoln Raleigh and they make fun of it. Remember, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. No riots, no burnt down buildings, no turned over cars. Just straight visuals all over the world. MAGA, we are strong and we will not be defeated. Republican Party, tighten up. Rhinos, get the hell out and go over to them Democrats because we don't want you here. On that note, only thing I got to say is elephants don't swat flies. and jets fly over turbulence. But before you go, come and get that Dana J seasoning, baby. I got it popping hot.
Dana J hood season, man. I'm talking about that white dirt for all your vegetables and potatoes and anything from the garden, salads and everything. They got that Cajun. Oh my goodness, they got that ooh yeah. Don't forget that seafood. And last but not least, he got this thing called tropical. Go to Dana J Spices at yahoo.com.
I want to thank all the followers. I want to thank all the people that contributed to this live. I want to thank everybody that came in late. Hey, Tanil. I want to thank everybody that came here early, that stuck it out with me. And oh, just for the record, I'm tweaking the tropical seasoning. So if you want to order the new tropical, I advise you to do it. On that note, I'm up out of here, man. Y'all be great. It's a good weekend. Love every last one of y'all. Peace.
Oh, yeah. Let me say it again. Out of all I've been through, I'm still here. Should I be lied on, mistreated, talked about and abused, but I'm still here. Many days I thought I was gonna lose my mind, but I'm still by the grace. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again. Lost a lot of people and lost a lot of things, but I'm still here. Somebody can testify and tell somebody. Many people turned their back on me and walked away, but I'm still here. Oh, Jesus, can I be honest today? Life ain't really been easy, but God's been good, and that's why I'm still here. Oh, it's by the grace. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. I'm still it's by the grace. Can I get milk with it? I'm still here.